Howdy, my friends. How's it going? Hope all is well. This is going to be a fun one. I love these trucks. I wish we built more of them, but they're so time intensive, and we only have a two-man crew on this team, so probably only do maybe 3 a year. This is Icon Thriftmaster numero 5, number 5. The truck we are in today, I sourced a original paint 1951 Chevy 5-window 3100 pickup. It was an old farm truck, but the body was actually in really nice shape, and they do make reproduction bodies for these, but unfortunately the reality is that the quality is so lacking, I'm better off to just start with an old truck. So that's what we did. We call it the TR, or Thriftmaster. I know, how ironic, because it's everything but thrifty, but is what it is. I originally restored several of these as a hobby, as a youngster, and always loved them, always loved the look, but was always really disappointed in the drive. I used to do them dead stock, and I don't know, at least in my humble opinion, the brakes sucked, the steering sucked, the power sucked, the ride sucked, but they look so cool. So when my dear friend Craig Morrison at Art Morrison Enterprises built one up as his personal project, I jumped right in and said, hey, can we use that for Icon? And since you already built one, what should we do to make it even better? So as always, Art Morrison was an excellent partner, helping us come up with really the top chassis, the top solution in the market. So this one is running the independent front with the triangulated 4-link in the rear. We are running a General Motors E-Rod LS3, so that's about 420 horsey, full emissions, although you wouldn't know it unless I told you, because all it really does is, well, make the exhaust less stinky. Doesn't really do anything to impact your performance, and it's just the right thing to do. It's cleaner burning, and all we have is basically a charcoal canister, a really tight program in the ECU from GM Performance, and catalytic converters. That's it. So it's not like the old days where you're going to bring a whole bunch of extra crap you have to maintain. So I really support this E-Rod. It's been a great motor. We use it a lot. The other cool thing is it comes with a 2-year, 50,000 mile warranty from GM that's supported by all GM dealers. And although I doubt you'll ever have to enforce it, it's certainly cool to have and rare in the custom car world. So it's a short bed half-ton. Let's start with the outside. So this one is finished in a lovely, very dark brown satin finish with superfine metallic. So it almost looks gray, but it's really a brown hue, and I really like it. I've been kind of on a jag of browns lately. For whatever reason, I'm totally into it, and fortunately most of my clients are too. The next Thriftmaster is going to be a gloss finish and a super dark green, and it's coming together right now. It's quite lovely color. But this one's satin and brown. Custom details and modifications, we did really nothing to modify the body other than to improve the door latches and the tailgate design. So instead of having the old latches that kind of sort of work, now we have more contemporary bear claws that are far more definitive in their ability to close, and more importantly to stay closed. For the tailgate, the modification to the tailgate allowed us to get away from the gacky original chains that would just clang and bang against the body, and that just wasn't acceptable. So we went to a blind knurled knob closure system, so it's totally invisible, and then you reach around the top to the inside of the bed to release the tailgate. And then because we deleted the chains, we used a hinge design, like an elbow hinge, that keeps the tailgate at 90 degrees. And again, more definitively will hold your weight versus the chains, sometimes yes, sometimes no. You'll notice that we laser etch the tailgate. We start with a smooth one, and then we, acid etch it. Although I should try that with our laser, but whatever, the acid's been working just fine. So a really subtly branded icon in the back. The font used there is a font that we created, and it was inspired by the original font present on the truck. And you'll notice it carries through the vehicle. So up on the front, for example, the Thriftmaster side emblems, we completely redesigned in CNC out of aluminum. And then it, like all the exterior trim, is nickel plated, then brushed. So that includes the grille, those super sexy taillights that have an LED array in them, and those taillights are super cool. What else? Front turn indicators are LED. Headlights are more conventional, but upgraded to a halogen H4. And the front center logo on the hood, we loosely took inspiration from the original, but we took a lot of liberties with that. So basically just the kind of sort of shape is stock. But again, that's CNC'd in-house, and then super detailed CNC'd lizard applied to the middle of it. Bumpers are stock, but again, nickel plated and brushed. And the rearview mirrors are cool, so they look traditional and retro, but they have a nice little bit of added function in that they light up with an arrow array of LEDs when your turn signal is on. Coming on now to the inside of the vehicle, pretty much a complete redesign. Dash shape is stock, although it was simplified and smooth. The gauges we designed in chorus with our good buddies at Dakota Digital. So I developed the font and the indices and added the lizard, but for the most part, we had to stick to their existing circuit board without getting into a disaster of engineering one-off. So we basically took advantages of their quality design and efficiencies, but added sort of the icon touch to them. These gauges are killer. They do quarter mile time, they do 0 to 60, they let you know when you left your parking brake on, they alert you when you have low fuel. What else do they do? Trip meters and check engine light and all that good stuff. But they keep it looking analog, even though it's a digital driven circuit board. Steering column, we work with our buddies at I Did It to make a column specific for this truck. Steering wheel is a retro Tri-5 Chevy car wheel, but reduced diameter, which is great because we need all the help we can get ergonomically in this small cabin. That column is tilt. That wheel is wrapped in bison hide, and the horn ring is, again, nickel plated and brushed. The door panels, kind of sort of stock shape, but we took the style lines that are in the stamped steel door and added those to the bison hide. The window regulator and door handles, again inspired by the original, but a complete redesign, and those are nickel finished. Another cool detail is the power windows. So as you know, if you follow the brand, we've been using the New Relic switches for a long time. Big fan because they keep everything looking stock and analog, but they're power and they're super sturdy, so don't worry about someone like going to roll it down and screwing it up. Never heard it happen, never seen it happen. What's new and exciting on this truck is something that we had developed with our ex-mechanical engineer. So now we got to thinking, well, that's cool and all, but it still kind of sucks because you got to reach all the way over there to power that one. Or worse still, if you're in a four-door car, you basically have to be an octopus to reach all the windows. So now what we've done is we created a circuit board that interfaces with conventional components where you double-click it and all windows go down. You double-click it and all windows go up. Simple, yet nifty and convenient. We're actually thinking about investing in doing a production run of those and making them readily available to other custom car builders and owners. What do you guys think? Should we do that? It wouldn't be that cheap, wouldn't be that expensive though. The install is pretty simple. I think we could probably knock out a competent kit with instructions for 200 bucks-ish. Let me know your thoughts on that. Other details, we have power door locks through this remote. Next one will have that sexier remote you may have seen on the last Bronco build. I think that's groovier. All the switches are in a custom panel we put under dash, and you simply have lights, wipers, fan, temperature, and vent. Obviously, in-dash, heat, vent, AC, defrost, blah, blah, blah. And speaking of in-dash, that was a big challenge on this job. So the original dash, all they had to worry about was a very somewhat rare optional AM radio and an ashtray and one speaker. Well, I didn't want to jump the shark with a bunch of aftermarket crap all over this beautiful design, so we worked long and hard to engineer this system that you see now. So to the left of the gauges, you will find a singular AC vent, but that starts the lines with this cool fluted kind of streamlined modern design that was inspired by the original center dash panel. Then from the right of the gauges carrying all the way through to the other side, it's one uninterrupted line. Now you want to use your CarPlay, navigation, Bluetooth phone, touch, whatever. You simply tap on this center dash module and it's on shocks, which is kind of a funny story. We stole those from RC cars from Traxxas because depending on how much oil you charge them with, you can control the rate of speed on the down travel. So it's there when you need it, but it's not some fugly modern thing when you don't need it. And then you want to close it, you just simply one hand drag it back up and relatch it. Same party occurs for the Glovebox door. Cup holders. Everybody wants a cup holder these days, so we'd be remiss if we didn't consider that. I actually stole the G-Wagon, the 63 G-Wagon cup holders that are super cool. They're like little basketball nets and they fold up when you're not using them. They ain't cheap, but they're super cool, and we put them down in the cowl section and they stay out of the way. Another update on this truck, parking brake. We've been using the E-Stop electric parking brake on many of our one-off builds, and we've been really happy with it. So this single dash switch directly above the ignition is for that. It also has an audible tone to remind you, hey idiot, you left your parking brake on. But that eliminated the underdash handle, which sometimes rattled, and we know how much I love rattles, and it also interfered with the audio system. Moving right on to the audio system, we're running the Pioneer 8200 NEX head unit. Big fan, we use it in pretty much everything. And it has, you know, a CarPlay or Android and all the crap you'd expect a modern full function head unit to have. And then speakers and amplifier and digital processor on these trucks was engineered by our good buddies at Audison. So it is a 3-speaker system, that's it. But before you go judging it, it is one of the nicest high-end systems I've ever heard. Totally fills this cabin with sound. It's precise, it's tight. We hide the bass back here behind the armrest, and the 2 other primary speakers are under the dash. And it's super nice, super crisp sound. For textiles on this truck, we're running the super groovy Parabellum collection, our buddies that do like high-end belts and bags and stuff. We use their free-range American bison hide on this truck, continuing the velvety brown theme. We did brown, and same with the carpet. That's the Haugarten Square Weave from Germany. Very nice. It is a dense pile loop carpet. It is edge hemmed in the before mentioned bison, and it is lined in Dynamat. If you remove those, there are removable mats, and then there is fixed carpet that has extreme liner underneath it, and then the entire body floor, inner fenders, inner rear fenders, firewall, and rear cab section are all coated in a heat-cured layer of polyurea, and that works out really nice. There's also Dynamat in the roof, the back of the cab, and inside of the doors, so it really helps refine this old school cabin. We upgraded the visors recently to the Icon Rosen visors, as seen in Learjets and other fine high-end aircraft. These are a new one, which we're going to make commercially available because they're universal-ish. So they use the stock shank and mounts from this truck, and they're compatible with many such parts. You simply cut that bugger short and attach these, and you are good to go. We now take advantage of our nifty new in-house laser, and we brand those with the Icon Lizard. What else? The Icon Sport pedals, Tempur-Pedic foam in this seat, CNC'd seat recline covers and paddles. I guess that's it. That's enough. If you're curious, We've done videos of, I think, all of the previously built Thriftmasters. As always, thank you so much for taking the time and getting to know my brand. We really appreciate the support. I can't tell you how much. Questions, call us, 818-280-3333. Follow us on Facebook. Most of the fun stuff's on my personal page, Jonathan Ward. Instagram, thank you so much. Growing audience there. Super fun, not just the vehicles we build, but other stuff that we build and appreciate. Antiques, travel antics, vintage watches, other people's cool cars, you name it. Website, icon4x4.com. That's it. Over and out. Have a great day.